Today, I feel is a huge privilege, firstly for me, but I think for all of us, that we have an ostomist called Rachel who's prepared to work with us in this way, who's prepared and brave enough to, in public, allow us to observe her abdomen, to do a pouch change, to see the complexity of the stomal situation. This is about learning from an individual called Rachel, who has, on a daily basis, a complex stomal situation that she deals with. She's not a complex stoma. She's an individual, and we need to learn and understand what life is like for Rachel so that we can understand what the best solution is to offer for her.
Having my illness, I lost my independence for a really long time. So for me, what matters to me now is independence, to be able to have a level of independence in my care or in where I live and what I do. I also have a blog called Rocking Two Stomas, and because I have a urostomy and an ileostomy, I like raising urostomy awareness, having friends, and just enjoying life, not letting my two stomas stop me from doing anything, because it did for so long. I felt isolated, alone, I was a victim, and I didn't know how to move forward. And slowly things have come, and I've just embraced each one, and now I'm here today in front of everybody.
You do have a medical insight. What's your profession?
So I was a therapy radiographer, so I was band 5 therapy radiographer, and I was in university, and I was training. I was in my 3rd year of university, and I ate chicken, got Campylobacter, and that's when my disease started. It's lovely being amongst all you nurses and healthcare professionals, because I used to do this, and I never thought I would get back, and now I'm in a different capacity. So it's really great.
Okay. Rachel's urostomy is obviously an extremely important part of her, but for the time constraints of today, we're not going to be interacting in any way or changing the pouch of Rachel's urostomy. We're actually going to be focusing on the ileostomy that Rachel had formed in 2012.
Before, I used the Coloplast Mio Convex, which with a prolapse isn't advised, but when you have a prolapse, the flat bags just fall off with the weight.
For Rachel, the problems with the change in size with her hernia, but also the expanding movement of her stoma, meant that a convex product was not as secure as she needed it to be. So you'll see during this pouch change that actually we use a seal.
Mm-hmm. With the sugar, I found it really hard to get because I haven't tried. Terry told me to cut a hole out and try that way, and I might try that. But ice is easier, because I found I couldn't putting on a new base plate. It didn't stick well because of the sugar. So I found that ice is easier to use, and you put it on top and it can reduce it.
Again, this is the importance of looking at the individual person rather than what's written on a piece of paper about a stoma. What's best for Rachel and her stoma. Okay, so what we're going to do today, so Rachel is going to lie flat. We're going to remove the pouch and see the extent of the prolapse. We're then going to use Rachel's technique with ice to reduce the prolapse and to put it back. And then we're going to put a new pouch on.
My hernia is quite a small one, really, compared to others.
Well, and also you're lying down now. So as we saw with Steve earlier, she's lying down. So the hernia is less pronounced when she stands up, and especially with the weight of the prolapse, it does increase in size. You tell me what you need. I'm your glamorous assistant. Yes, say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Well done. Okay, now that's not the 8 inches that it can be. That's smaller. So here's some crushed up ice I prepared earlier. There you go.
Thank you.
There's ice.
Okay.
So you literally place it on top of the stoma.
Yeah, just try
Oh,
to...
and you round it, okay.
I try to get the swelling down because it's hard to push it in if it's very...
Yeah, I mean, that's
thick.
the right thing to do, to try and reduce the edema and the size of the prolapse before you manually reduce it. Although Rachel's going straight for the reduction here. This is the expert at work. This would take me at least 15 minutes before I'd be at this stage. Don't know about you, does it? It takes a long time, and I think we tend to be much more gentle and concerned about pushing it in. These wipes, you find, help protect the skin, stop any irritation. We'll just leave that to dry for a second. Okay, just hold that like that.
It's hard to know how to cut it because it does change so dramatically, like even now. So I struggle sometimes. Some days it'll be smaller and other days, and I always worry that I'm not going to cut some off, because sometimes I have had a prolapse that I've had to have emergency surgery because the blood had come off and it was like a purpley black colour.
So no pressure there for me getting the size. Yes, okay. But before you put the pouch on, you use a seal. Mm-hmm. Okay, so shall we put that? We put that. You put the seal onto your skin, not around the stoma. 'Cause some people find it easier to put the seal onto the adhesive. In general, not particularly with concave, but you.
I think because this changes shapes all the time, having the seal it's hard. It's out and the seal gets stuck, so that's why.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Okay. And obviously, so you can see where Rachel has replaced the prolapse. The stoma, when she's lying, does go absolutely flush with the skin. Okay, which is why, in theory, we would say that she should use convexity. But we heard how a convex pouch didn't work. Do you want to do this, or shall I do this?
I can do it. Thank you.
It's difficult with gloves on, isn't it?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. I'll hold it in. If you want to take the base plate off.
Okay, so I flip it.
You do it how you do it, not how it says on the packet. Now, do we need to do you push the stoma right back in, or do you allow it to spout a little bit?
I spout it a little bit because it's hard to do that with the ring.
Okay.
So probably that will do.
Okay, Rachel, I'm just...
Thank you. And then make sure it fits in. Ooh. And I feel for the ridge, the circular ridge, is that what it's called?
Yeah, so the stability ring is really a good guide for ostomists, because actually you can feel it with your finger. So the adhesive, obviously, we're used to adhesive and heat bonding, but actually it's pressure that's going to fix this. So we need our ostomists, our users, to feel all the way around and put pressure on the stability ring, okay? And you do that first. Then you look at but look, immediately, I don't know if you can see with the pictures here, there are no creases. This is adhered with no creases over the bulge, okay? An extra large flange extender, okay? And Rachel likes to use these. Gives that added security, that ability to get out, go to the Tivoli Gardens, do whatever she's, out clubbing tonight, whatever.
Voila.
Okay. And I don't know if you can see the seal through the pouch, the perfect seal there, and sizing around the the stoma. So, Rachel, thank you. I think you're incredibly brave to do this. I'm going to clear the detritus and the mess that I have made. And you're going to do your trousers up. And then I'd just like you to stand.
Okay.
Or sit on the side of the bed so that we can immediately see what happens with regard to the prolapse and with the body shape, so that we can see that already, being on seconds, this is going to be supportive and secure when the stoma comes out. Already, the prolapse is coming out. Can you see? Already, it's an inch or so, and it's coming out, and the contour is changing already of her abdomen. And you can imagine during the course of a day, when Rachel's sitting, standing, lying, going swimming, the multiple changes that will happen in her body shape. Thank you.
Oh, wait, no.
It's not what we would see on a daily basis. What's your message to stoma care nurses in the audience now for the future when they next meet a person with a complex stoma prolapsing or telescoping that also has a hernia? What would you say to them?
I think it would be that they're not alone, because I did feel so alone, and I kept feeling really angry with my body because all the surgeries, I kept thinking, was it something I'd done? Did I lift something? And I kept questioning myself, and then it made me fear everything. And I think just like for them to know that they're not alone, like this does happen. It might not be common, but it does happen. And I think when I realized that, that helped me realize that actually it's not really a big thing. It doesn't have to stop me from doing things, from traveling up to see Steve, from all these opportunities. So I think it'd be to say that they're not alone and that there are other people that have it.
Brilliant.